All right, well, this is probably the farthest away I've been from the Media Lounge. I'm Elisa Parker. I'm hanging out on the suspension bridge here, connected to the Tribute Trail right outside of downtown Nevada City. And it is so exciting to be here to share this incredible space with two awesome guys. I have Sinuhe, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Craig Childs. And the film that they were screening here is called The Story of Place. It is a phenomenal film, beautiful, and I thought what better place to bring you guys here than out like several hundred feet above Deer Creek. But you know, like Craig, you talk about places and like Deer Creek, right? Like these rocks, like the canyon lands that's featured in the film, and the story behind that and how the story's not over. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, well,
you know where I'm going with that?
And every landscape has its geologic story, its human story, and its continuity. You know, what is it going to be like in the future? What will this be like? I mean, if there wasn't a trail here before, it's obviously changing. What will it become? And we do have to think about that because, you know, a place like this may not be known outside of this area, but it's very important to the people who are here. And what happens to this in the long run? What's going to change about this landscape? And we're looking at the canyon country in Southeast Utah and uranium mining and fracking and the possible tar sands extraction. So there's a lot that could change in that landscape and radically alter it for centuries.
Because it's been developing for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, because you're looking at places like this that are much older than our machinations. So how are we going to change how we relate to a place to prevent it from being destroyed or completely overrun by our industries? You know, how are you going to behave differently out here?
It's a good question to ask. And I think it's an experiment now. We're going to begin to find out. I've just noticed, just even since we were here, seeing so many families and people come to check this out. Like, we haven't had a trail system like that in Nevada City, so it's enhancing our story and what's possible.
Yeah.
You know, Sinuhe, what is it that you wanted to capture in doing this film, and how did you and Craig connect to make that happen?
Well, Craig and I have talked about working on a project in that area for many years. I think it's an area that is both very special to Craig and I, and to me, not living there, I live in Southern California, and when people hear of Southern Utah, they think it's a desert. They think it's a wasteland. Yeah. They know that there's national parks there, but beyond the pretty pictures, that you see in national parks, it's just a wasteland to some people. And I think it's what I wanted to do with the film was work with Craig, because Craig obviously has such a way with words and really bringing people into a place in black and white and in print. And what I wanted to do was simply supply some photos, some pictures, some moving pictures to his words, and show people outside of the outdoor industry, outside of the environmental movement, outside of the activist movement, that this place, the Colorado Plateau, is a special place that needs our protection. That we can't just run. It's not a wasteland. Yeah. It's a very special place. And I've had the fortunate ability to travel all over the world, and I still feel like Southern Utah is one of the most special places I've ever been.
Yeah, magical.
Yeah.
I don't know, what is it about it for both of you guys, and even being in a place like this, that, opens it up to possibilities for both of you? I mean, what is it about that speaks to you about your own potential? And
well, like right here, you see how you have this really fluted, sculpted rock in the canyon bottom. Imagine these boulders the size of counties. So you're taking these really detailed, intricate forms that we're looking at and just spreading them across, the quarter of Utah. And so it's a maze, it's a labyrinth, and everything is possible. There's climbing and there are places you can't reach, but it's just every bend in the canyon is opening up onto other possibilities, other routes up and through and in. It's it's infinite.
What is the wildest thing that you have done to make a difference? One of the wildest things that you have done to make a difference.
I think the wildest things haven't happened yet for me. There's ideas percolating, and there's, it's ways of getting more people involved. And, I think that with this film, this was, I work in advertising, commercial director. This film was my first step into this world of activism, environmentalism. And I think that it's just the tip of the iceberg, really. And I've got some great ideas percolating that are going to be wild and, going to tip the boat a little bit.
What about you, Craig? Wildest thing?
But maybe the wildest thing is that I go back to the same places over and over again. And it may not seem radical, but to go back to the same boulder in the same canyon on a January morning and an August afternoon, and I see wild not just in the kind of feral, primal, tooth gritting wild, but the wild of, oh, this is what's happening on this planet. These are the shadows that are moving. So it's going back to the same landscapes and spending a lot of time in them, and getting under alcoves in the summer and getting out of the sun in the desert and just watching the shadows move slowly. To me, that's the wildest stuff.
Cool. Appreciate wherever you are, right? Discover the wild around there. And like Craig said, you can appreciate it throughout the whole entire year. I know right here in Nevada City, we have the Yuba River as well. That is such a cool place to go to year round. Really cool. I want to thank both of you guys for joining me and taking a risk and coming out here away from the town. They didn't know what they were getting into. So it's totally crazy. And I want to thank you. We've had such a fantastic weekend at Wild Scenic Film Fest. And if you haven't been, I hope you come check out the suspension bridge. It's totally wild. And what are you wild for?
What am I wild for?
Yeah.
I'm wild for the new experience.
All right. Wild experience, new experience.
New experience,
Yep.
Show me something that I haven't done before, and I'll try it.
All right, like coming to the suspension bridge.
Exactly.
Totally.
I'm wild because I just can't help it.
That's true. I believe that, Craig. All right, take care from the suspension bridge. See you later.